What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Granularity.ai tutorial. So, today we are going to talk about every data scientist's, every data analyst's best friend, and that is Pandas, more specifically, Pandas AI. So, if you've been in the data science space for a long time, or have just been a data analyst for a long time, um, programmatically a data analyst, you know all about pandas. Mainly, pandas is a package, a Python package that can be used in data analysis for data scientists or data analysts. Primarily use it for creating data frames, cleaning data. Usually, you can use it with Matplot and Seaborn to create data visualizations. So, usually, using Pandas, Matplot, or Seaborn is kind of like peanut butter and jelly. Like it kind of just goes together. Um, but one package that I think isn't talked about enough, and I think it's been here for the past 2 or 3 years, is Pandas AI. I have played with it like in the very beginning when I first heard about it, first saw about it, and it wasn't as mature as it is now, it seems, like with robust documentation. It seems now like it's just kind of exploded into something really cool. So as you can see here, the features behind Pandas AI are natural language querying, data visualization, data cleansing, feature generation, data connectors. The data connectors piece I think is really cool, right? If you are familiar with Postgres, MySQL, Databricks, Google BigQuery, I think it could be a really cool uh, application, addition to an application, Q&A application, um, in the chat space, mainly because imagine that you have, let's say you're using Databricks, and imagine you want to connect your SQL warehouse to Pandas AI. And this is something that I haven't experimented with so far. I've only kind of been using, I think I have used it on Databricks way back, but nothing to the extent of like connecting an entire warehouse and asking it questions. But imagine like you connect an entire warehouse, right? SQL warehouse, or not a SQL warehouse, data warehouse, and you are able to ask questions to this data with as many tables as it has, whether it's unstructured or structured. You're able to kind of ask questions about this data that's within it, get answers back, whether in natural language or in a chart. Maybe you need a chart showing kind of different metrics, maybe pie charts, bar charts, whatever it may be specifically. Maybe you need forecasting. Having Pandas AI able to kind of develop this without the need for knowing any SQL or Python can be a huge, huge, huge benefit. Because not everyone knows Python. You might get some people who are in finance, you might get some people who are in marketing, communications, operations, and they don't have time to learn a coding language or a database language to then pull information and uh, able to view it in a easily digestible way. They don't have time. They're doing their own job. It's always really cool to learn these things, but who knows if they even have the energy, like I said, the time. So that's where Pandas AI comes in. So today we're not necessarily going to be starting with doing the connections or cleaning an entire data set to go from start to beginning of exploratory data analysis. Instead, we are just going to play with the package itself, um, using the package just to kind of develop um, a few charts and as well as answer a few questions uh, about the CSV file we're using. So if you like what you're hearing, if you are solely interested, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like or dislike, comment, suggest, provide feedback so that we can know what you want, what you like, and what you want more of and what you want less of. Please let us know. We always want to know, and we're always kind of ready to make sure we provide the best content for you guys. Anyways, let's jump in. So as you can see, I kind of already have pip install pandas AI over here. And as we scroll down, you can see the packages from pandas AI import smart data frame. This is what we're going to use. Let me see, I think I copied already, but if not, let's see, I think it is here. We want to use this SDF equals smart data frame function here. So let's copy that. And as you can see, make sure you also have a Pandas AI API key. I'll include the link for this so that you guys can go ahead and create your own API key. But make sure to include that in the environment variable. Just want to add that. Yeah. So anyways, let's keep going. So let's have here, boom. And the data set that we're using is going to be a data set that I think it's here. Oh, no, it's not. Let me see. Is it? No, it's not. Let me upload it real quick. Let's go to downloads, I think. Yes, downloads. Here we go. So the data set that we're using is going to be about OCD patient data. So this is not data that I found from, it's not confidential data. I got the data from Kaggle. I'll provide the CSV link into the video description. Make sure to take a look at it. If you want to use it, you can use it. But as you can see, the columns are patient ID, age, gender, ethnicity, marital status, education level, OCD diagnosis, date, family history of OCD, obsession type. This one might be interesting to look into. Compulsion type. Let's see what we got. Anxiety diagnosis and medications. About 1,500 entries. And what we're going to want to do, let's kind of exit out of this, is take the path from this file here and place it in this smart data frame function area here. Now, I am using Google Colab for this. Reason being is because I didn't feel like going ahead and installing all the Pandas AI package dependencies. Wasn't kind of really in the mood. Wasn't really in the didn't feel like wasting a whole lot of time when doing that. So I just took, as you can see, it says like dependencies resolver does not da 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 da. As you can see, there is some packages that you do need. Didn't feel like doing it. The Google Colab is pretty good at mitigating that by just kind of providing whatever else is needed and kind of automatically installing what is needed and what isn't needed. And also, you know, using the correct Python version. So that's why I'm sticking with Google Colab for this. And maybe next time I'll use Anaconda. So I like to switch between 3 different IDEs, between Visual Studio, Google Colab, and using Anaconda just because it has all the types of tools that I can use. But anyways, so let's go ahead and run this package here as well. And get the green light on that. Green check mark, always good. Let's go ahead and run this part too. Let's remove this past one. I don't really want to use this. Let's copy. Yeah, dude. And then let's place it back. There we go. So now that our data set is loaded in, let's kind of keep going. So I already kind of have some predefined questions here. And we're going to start off with the first one, right? As you can see, it's fairly easy to use. If you are not a fan of doing EDA, I can assure you, Pandas AI will literally be a lifesaver. It will literally help you speed your EDA up if you have to create PowerPoints or reports for whoever's your lead or whoever you do report to. This can really speed things up to the max. I assure you, it can speed things up to the max. So, for example, please give me a pie chart representing distribution of ethnicity within the data set. So we have here, boom. So we want to know kind of percentages wise or some type of distribution, comparison between ethnicities within the data set. Not taking a look at OCD diagnosis itself, just strictly off of ethnicity. So Once we kind of plug this into the sdf.chat function, we then want to kind of put that response to a variable, name response, and print out the response. And it should be a chart since we're saying, please give me a pie chart. Give it some time. And so we have within our data set, this OCD patient data set, we have 21.6% African, 25.7% Asian, 26.1% Hispanic, 26.5% Caucasian. This is a pretty, I mean, it's very close to being evenly distributed, an evenly distributed data set. So this is actually a pretty phenomenal and usable data set, whoever kind of cleaned and put this together. So congrats to them. I did get this off of Kaggle. And usually people are pretty good at cleaning data over there, so and making it really usable. So yeah, awesome to them. What we're gonna do is copy this rather than kind of using the same cell. Since we might want different visuals to show, we'll create or we'll use different cells. So response one, and we're going to put a different statement within this. So in the second one, which demographic has the most family history with a diagnosis of OCD? Now for this, I'm not expecting a chart, but what I'm expecting is a natural language response. So let's input this, which demographic has the most family history with a diagnosis of OCD? Let's give it a try. Now again, we want a natural language response, not a chart for this. The demographic with the most family history of OCD is Hispanic. So we got our answer. Now, same thing again. We want to have different charts, different answers to our question, showcasing the natural language as well as the charting from PandasAI. So then we have, please develop a chart that shows which demographic has the most family history with OCD or has the most history with a diagnosis of OCD. So we already know that the Hispanic ethnicity does have the most family history of OCD is Hispanic, but we kind of want to show it in a chart type. We want a breakdown, basically. So let's kind of put this here. Make this number two. Number two, please develop a chart that shows which demographic has the most family history within a diagnosis of OCD. I'm kind of expecting, now we didn't specify the chart here, but I am kind of expecting either a bar chart or a pie chart. Ooh, excuse me. So let's kind of go ahead and see what we get here. Okay, so again, our earlier question, and it looks like it's trying to see if it can develop multiple charts, trying to test it out. I'm not sure. I see it has three, failed to execute code, retry and correction, retry number three. I was not able to answer your question because of the following error, no result returned. Yeah, I'm not sure what this is, but it looks like it tried to kind of recreate the chart multiple times. Maybe you get it right. I'm not sure why I was doing that, but this kind of confirms our earlier question and statement, right? The demographic with the most family history of OCD is Hispanic, with 27%. It looks like is first, and then Caucasian second, Asian third, and African fourth. So that kind of gives us a distribution of which ethnicities have a history, which ethnicities have the most history of diagnosis of OCD in their family. And so again, we're going to save this and we're going to move on to our next question. Now, as you can see, this kind of makes analysis super duper quick, super duper easy. Not 23. There we go. Super duper quick, super duper easy. And so for the third one, we want to have, please show me a chart of comparing different marital status and their OCD diagnosis. Now, this is interesting. I'm hoping that marital status has very, very little effect when it comes to OCD. We're not specifying the chart here either. So the chart could pop out as a bar, as a pie, stacked bar. Hey, can I get it? There you go. Stacked bar. Um, I didn't specify charting. So let's see what kind of the response is here. So this kind of isn't a chart that we want. You can see that it says single, married, marital status, divorce, or single, married, divorced. But for some reason, the metric here is just, it's all the same, right? There's uniformity that we don't want. We kind of want to show the differences between whether someone's single, married, and divorced, and their OCD. So let's kind of see here which has the most. Still not getting it for some reason. See, it's trying different uh I guess the layouts to see which one might work. But again, even it knows like I can't get it right. And it looks like it has maybe 3 or 4 tries. So let's try again. Let's see what happens. Still not getting it. So again, I'm a firm believer in not completely trusting AI. Even when you think it is, even when you think maybe in a it has a good record of getting things correct, sometimes you still shouldn't trust it, right? Because it may at some point give you the incorrect answers, incorrect answer to your question you're looking for, so forth, so on, the incorrect graphics. This looks closer to what we're looking for. Again, you should also have someone check to make sure that, maybe perform a count on this to make sure everything's correct. I'm not going to do all that in this video. This is just mainly to show you what you're able to do. But yeah, I would definitely highly recommend getting a check. So as you can see here, it looks like married and single have the same kind of level of, if you're married, blue means no for family history. Yes means, or orange means yes for family history of OCD. It looks like for divorce, there was a lower count of yes for family history of OCD compared to, at least, I wish this legend would be out of the way, compared to at least married and single. But anyways, that's kind of the, again, one of the limitations with using Pandas AI is it's not going to get it right every time, and I think you should always expect that it may not get it right every time. AI is still in its infancy. You can't expect it to be a scholar when it comes to these things, or even a seasoned data scientist when it comes to these things. This is why you still need a human in the loop to make sure it's able to get things correct. Please show me a chart of comparing different marital status and their OCD diagnosis. Let's kind of remove this and say, please show me a distribution of, what was it? Let me see. Let's go here. Please show me a distribution of, I think there was one interesting one I wanted to check out. It was obsession type. Please show me a distribution of obsession type. Obsession type. And then let's kind of execute this. And again, it's providing the uniformity we don't want that. Maybe we need to specify. Please show me a pie chart distributing obsession type. There we go. So I see religious contamination and symmetry, all 33%. Let's try one more time. I don't know if that's correct. Let's try one more time and see what it gives us. Nothing popped up. Let's try it again. Yeah, so I guess it is all 33%. So conclusively, right, Pandas AI or AI in general is not going to get things right 100% of the time. I do believe in Pandas AI, you're able to train the model itself. You could train Pandas AI to understand your data better and improve its performance. Training is as easy as calling the train method on the agent. So it looks like you are able to train Pandas AI to perform better, which is pretty awesome if you think about it. Training with local vector stores, Pinecone, ChromaDB, Quadrant. So the training can be applied to Pandas AI to then provide better answers, better charting for your data. There wasn't any charting done in this tutorial. I mean, not charting. There wasn't any training done in this tutorial, so maybe that's a limitation that I had in this. But as you can see, like you are able to kind of use Pandas AI to develop graphics, develop charts, answer questions about the data at hand. My thought is that you could use this in maybe some type of Q&A. You can use this for when you're developing data science reports, your findings, when you're doing exploratory data analysis. It can really be helpful in that case, especially if you're a data scientist, to just say, hey, I don't feel like doing all, the plotting work programmatically. At least if I want something to draw something up quick, do the EDA quick for a report, especially if you're a data analyst, do the EDA for a quick report. I can hand it to my lead. They can take a look at it, my findings, yada, yada, yada. Um, and plus say, hey, I think, especially now, a lot of leaders are more, I think, receptive to rather than saying it took me 3 hours to develop these charting and metrics. If you say it took me 10 minutes, 30 minutes using Pandas AI to develop these metrics, what do you think? Um, and usually, anytime you have the ability to offer to your manager time saved, right? Exceptional time saved. They're usually very receptive to it. So please make sure you comment. Please make sure you like. Please make sure you dislike. Please make sure you subscribe. This channel is growing. I love reading the comments. I love reading the feedback. I do appreciate all the likes. Um, I do comment back as well if the idea is good. Let me know what else you want me to explore. There is maybe two other applications I want to explore, I think next week or so, mainly in regards to automating front end development. I don't know if anyone has ever heard of, I think it's VO by Vertex and Bolt.new. I'll explore those two maybe sometime in next week or so, and kind of give you guys a first-hand look on how it can be developed with you, or how it can use it for your own development, and give you guys a first-hand view of me exploring it as well. But anyways, without further ado, bye bye.